done one of these. Just life in general getting in the way. Also, excuse me, not really been enjoying a lot of the weekly races or the FIA ones. The FIA ones as well, because I started a new job recently. Annoyingly, I'm quite often working on a Wednesday night, and have to miss them anyway. And I've had a couple of Saturday nights like that as well. So the reality of it is, I wish they would actually extend the FIA races out for the full day. Just not everyone can play it over what is it, a 5-hour period I think they tend to run them over. But anyway, for once, recently, the weekly races, I hate calling them daily races because they certainly aren't daily anymore, are they? But they recently there's been one race generally, either B or C, that's tended to appeal to me for whatever reason. Usually because they've been doing quite a lot of single excuse me a second, single make series, and they're not ones I like at all. So this week we actually managed to get Group 3 and Group 4 at two tracks I actually don't mind. So I'm doing better at the Group 3 race, which is the one I'm going to do now, and my go-to Group 3 car is turning out to be the a good choice for me. I've won a few, had a few not so good ones with the Crash Bang Wallop Brigade. But yeah, it's I've had a few pole positions, had a few where I've started a little bit further back on the same time, just because there's just generally better people in the lobby than me when I've made my way up. And also, yeah, I can't remember, like last week, I can't even remember what the race was I was doing last week, but it was a killer for me as far as my SR rating. Dropped me from B down to E at one point, I think it was, just purely because of corner cutting and those what I would call contentious penalties when you get penalised for being hit by somebody. So we're going into this one. As you can see, I have got my SR rating back up to B rating this week, mostly through this race, to be honest with you. Had 4 in a row of clean races, which is kind of a new record. Excuse my fat belly. I'm trying to get myself a little bit comfortable here. Rocking the Batman trousers and the Spider-Man shirt. Mixed messages there with the Marvel versus DC, eh? So we've got my 2018 Haas F1 livery on the Lexus. Oh, what I think about it, one bit of good news for me was the new FIA season, although I haven't been able to play it that much, started, and it enabled me to switch manufacturers. So the Group 3 car, the RS01, which I really didn't get along with, despite loving the Group 4 Megane, I've been able to get away from that and go with Lexus. Surprise, surprise. We all, as I say, people, if anyone ever watches this, will know that my love of the Lexus in the Group 3 is I wouldn't say well known because I'm not even sure how many people watch these videos, but well known for those one or two that might have. Most of them being me, I think, actually watching the video myself. But yeah, the Group 4, I'm not as overly familiar with the Group 4 Lexus, I must admit. It's not one I've used a lot, but it is quite a stable car. Not necessarily the best in the... My belly, is that my belly still hanging out? It is embarrassing, isn't it? Let's pull them up. Right. Really should plan these videos out more. Who knows, with the new job maybe I will invest in a better setup, but I doubt it. Got to get viewers for that, haven't you, really? So here we go, see what we can do. I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that. Oh, that Porsche is giving his position away. I think we should be able to take this Ford. The Ford generally is pretty good in a straight line, but not much for handling around corners, so let's see. Well, the way he chopped across me on that first corner, got to play this very carefully. Neither has got penalised for that. Maybe the game thought 50% of one, 50% of the other, I don't know. Now while this Lexus, I've always said it's a bit of a boat of a car, it's big, it's somewhat lumbering and cumbersome, but it grips like nobody's business. I don't know any car that kind of... Oops, a little bit tight there. The grip's as good as this one. Oh, I did get penalty for that shit. Yeah, I thought I went a bit tight there. My bad. 0.4 I can live with. That's easy enough to actually shit off on a straight into a braking zone. Which, as I've said before, I just don't understand why more people don't use that tactic. The tactic of slamming on your brakes as you're coming up to the start-finish line doesn't really make any sense to me sometimes. When you can go into a braking zone, if you just let off the brakes a little bit earlier and coast, just adjust your braking, works perfectly fine. Yeah, I think this guy's got the legs on me here. I'm not having my best race either, actually. I'm being a little bit overly cautious. Yeah, a couple of these ones I've done recently. I think it was my first win on this track this week. You know, I finished like 18.5 seconds ahead of second place, so there are races where I've just absolutely dominated it. Though obviously one of the bigger problems is, as I start to reclaim my SR and DR rating, you start getting put into lobbies with better people. Although, you know, I've still had some of the high SR and DR races where I've just been head and shoulders above everyone else, but it's more common to actually be in races with better quality drivers at this level, thankfully. But yeah, it's not my finest hour at the moment. Don't think I'm going to be getting any record laps here. Had quite a few fastest laps actually recently as well. Bit tight there, but I don't think that's a penalty wise one. It's quite forgiving on this track actually. I know it'll probably be a lot more forgiving on the FIA ones, but a lot less forgiving I should say. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about myself. long as I can get a big enough gap to that car behind, which I am doing. I'm not going to give up on the first place car, but I don't think it's worth going overly mad. So, right, here we go. So let's just see, if I just let off a bit here, roll in there, put your brake on, and lose nothing. So that's what I say, it's, to me, it just makes sense to just do that. It just, because you don't have to brake quite so hard into the bend. Anything you do lose by letting off on the straight, you just completely regain by going through the bend. I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing it every lap, just because it works when you want to shed the time, because that's when you end up with someone dive bombing up your inside. When you have got a relatively decent enough gap, it does work for you. I mean, I can't count how many times I've seen people doing the old finish line method and even lose one or more places because people are just too close to them on the finish straight, or they completely misjudge it and cross the line still with a penalty. Now this guy is catching me up, so I am not having the best run this time out. Wonder what car he's in. Beetle. See, a Beetle, I'm usually don't find the Beetles to be too much of a challenge on this race, to be honest with you. So for him to be catching me up, he's either a lot better than most Beetle drivers, or I am just not doing that great. I mean, my lap times are not that great either. I mean, I've got one down in the 159s, but usually I will do low 159s or high 158s in the races. So I would say that I need to get my groove back on, although he's made a mistake and dropped back significantly. Where's he? Back in 5th now. Probably got too close to me. Either lost downforce, misjudged it, or just literally misjudged his braking because he got too close. That was actually the other thing I should have said a minute ago, actually, about the fact that you have better quality people in the lobbies with your higher SR and DR. The other thing obviously you do find is that as the week rolls on, people get better at this. If they're playing it all the time, they get into a groove. Well, obviously I'm not proving that today. Jesus, I did let that guy catch up and that other guy get away with a 2 minute. So yeah, not my best performance there. Started third, come home second due to the spinning Porsche at the beginning with only that small, oh, that's 7th, finished down in 9th. That small bump at the beginning. I should have had much better legs on that Ford GT, to be honest with you. Shouldn't have let him get away from me like that. I think I'm going to give this race another go. Made that one place. Yeah. Just give me it's weird. I don't understand the clean race thing, because obviously I had that contact, although there was no penalty with the full GT at the start of the race. Have I gone up from B to A, or was I already A? No, I was already A, wasn't I? But also I cut that corner. and did get a penalty for it, so I'm not quite sure how that gave me a clean race. As for liveries, last year I recreated every single team on the grid in livery form. Let's just have a quick swig of this. And of course anyone who follows Formula 1 at all will probably know that the new cars have started breaking cover. So I have already started my 2019 liveries. I don't think I'm going to do the whole grid this year because quite a lot of them are very, very similar to last year. Renault particularly similar. Don't see much difference in the Mercedes. But I mean, the first one that broke, I think it was one of the first ones that broke cover actually, and was vastly different to last year's, was Haas. So we do have the Haas, the 2019 Haas livery on an Audi R8. The Group 3 Audi R8 that is. Williams has got a significantly different livery, so that will probably be one of my next ones. What was Force India is now the rather horribly titled Racing Point F1 team. Or if you see the full name with its new sponsor, now I might be mispronouncing this, Sport Pacer Racing Point F1. One of the worst names I've ever actually seen in F1, I think. Yeah, so that's quite different. I mean, it's still the major pink we've had for the past couple of years, but there's a lot more blue and stuff on it. McLaren has gone for the same colour scheme, but has mixed it up quite nicely with the orange and blue, with the blue being just a little bit more prominent, car not looking quite so plain as it did last year. So we may do a 2019 McLaren. The only thing you have to work out is which car you're going to put it on. Do you put it on a McLaren or do you put it on a Renault? Too many choices. Well, that's if you classified 2 as too many. So here we go. So we're doing a bit of quali. I just want to get back in the groove. It's probably because I've not played this for a day or two. Didn't really get. I got a little bit of a go in the morning yesterday, but as I was working from 6:30 PM till last night to 6:30 AM this morning, that's why I missed the FIA races. As you can see, I've spent a little bit of today sleeping, although not as much as I would have liked, and also playing and finishing finally 4 years or so after starting it, Metro 2033 Redux, and briefly starting Metro Last Light Redux, which I did play on the PS3, but because I wouldn't have played the games in order, I never actually got around to playing it on the PS4. And as Metro Exodus is due out tomorrow, I believe it is. Not that I will be buying it tomorrow, but obviously it's due out soon, so when I can get round to buying it, I would like to be fully up to date with the first 2 games. And as I say, I have played and finished last night on the previous gen, so it's not an unknown story to me. But as I say, it, being a tied up graphics, it will give me a new playing experience somewhat, I guess, and a nice refresher, because I guess it was, what would it have been, about 2011, 2012, the original release of it. I can't remember without hitting the old Google machine. Couldn't say for certain, but it must be a good 7 or 8 years, I'm guessing, since I last played it. So yeah, that's another good one coming. Not everyone's cup of tea, I must admit, and from what I've been hearing, they've changed it up quite a bit, 'cause it's a lot more open world now, and you spend a lot more time outside the metro, up on the surface. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Also, last weekend I spent a hell of a lot of time on the Division 2 private beta, which I kind of wish I had spent some time broadcasting, but I'm not sure, but they didn't read the EULA on that. I must admit, it might have been a bit naughty to broadcast that, I don't know. And what else have we done? We've recently played a little bit of Apex Legends. Not quite getting to grips with it, I must admit. Keep going in and dying. Haven't actually had a single kill yet on it, but I will admit I haven't actually played it that much. Battle Royales haven't generally appealed to me. I'm not quite sure what the player base on that's like yet. That seemed quite cool. I did play the Anthem demo, they called it. I don't know what the difference is between the demo and the beta, to be honest with you. I think they were just being a bit, I don't know. Seemed okay, just seemed a wee bit too Destiny-esque, maybe a little bit of Warframe to it, and not terrible, but well, go down the 5th this time. Now, Porce, up in the first, in the Beetle, he is, was it, I can't remember if it was when I played it briefly in the morning yesterday or day before, he was an absolute nightmare. So if I'm definitely sure it's him, and he's got like a black Beetle, I think it is, and he was an absolute nightmare for blocking and actually sort of pushing you off track. I think he was the reason, he was one of my rage quit games, I think. He's a B-rated driver with a B-rated SR, but yeah, we'll have to see. But he's quick. But I think on this game is what you do see with a lot of people is they set that one really fast flying lap in quali for whatever reason, but they don't quite string it together in the race. I think the people you find that are better on this is that they might be a little bit further down the grid with their quali time, but they're more consistent during the race. Those are the guys you got to worry about. Not, I mean, this is why I've actually seen it before with myself. Not that I'm saying people should necessarily worry about me, is basically why sometimes you'll often see me start in a position like 5th or 6th, but on the first lap I'll be up 2 or 3 places, because the guys that have qualified ahead just aren't as consistent, and maybe they got one lucky lap in. The other thing you obviously get is somebody might they might do the qualifying lap in one car. I've done it myself in the past, do a qualifying lap in one car and then race in another one for whatever reason. They might be just trying out some different cars, or they've got bored of driving the same car over and over again. Looks like my live stream has gone very blurry on the ye old tuber view on the PC. Not sure what's going on with that. At least it means people don't have to look at my ugly face, I suppose. Or my fat belly hanging out my jeans. Not that I'm wearing jeans, of course. I'm wearing Batman lounge pants. Oh, here we go. These are the sort of guys that really grind my gears. Now, while I say, you know, sometimes it's when you're side by side with somebody, it's hard to see them. Oops. That might have looked a little bit revengey, and it's got me a penalty of huge proportions. So we got, this race is pretty much done, and that's just sealed it. Oh, only I could put up a stream of a race this poor. Right, let's see what we can do to fight back, where we can finish. Yeah, that age-old thing where I got punctured at the first corner, got a little bit pissed off. That's those 3, there we go. Yeah, got a little bit pissed off, and made some stupid errors, ran a bit wide, which sadly run that guy wide. Probably looked intentional to him. Got my penalty and then gave up, and then that's why I ran wide again, put my wheel on the grass. Really wanted to rage quit there, but hey ho, maybe the blurry feed will make people give up before we get to this bit, if anyone actually does bother watching. So we've just made up 3 places because of all that argy-bargy there. Looks like we're going to make up a 4th there. Yeah. What can one say about this race? Let's hope I can use my consistency to get past a few more. Certainly not going to be making it up into the top 5, I don't think, where I started. I'll be lucky for that, I think. These guys seem to have their shit together, and I certainly don't. It's very, very sloppy. See, this is one of the areas where I usually can get past people, because I'm good through that chicane, but these guys are quite smooth. I'm not. I'm wondering if that, I didn't really look at the guy's name. I wonder if that guy who punted me at the beginning is the guy who span. I'm really not seeing that. Oh, now that's what you got got to watch out for. You can actually take advantage of this. These two bumping and barging, but at the same time, if you're not careful, another guy not enjoying himself, 2 places ahead. Yeah, but if you're not careful, you could equally be taken out by these two guys battling it out between them. Like this Sam Sally, he's not exactly enjoying this by the look of it. He's very ragged. Lost a bit of time there. Can I take Rafuska? I don't even want to think about whether I'm pronouncing that name right or not. Run a little bit wide there. Let's see if I can get the run through here. So yeah, I've been having good luck all week. Finally decided to stream and have had one okay race and one terrible race. Well done me. Why did I not stream earlier in the week? Then it could have made me look awesome. This is how I spend Valentine's Day. Whoa, whoa, his braking was way late there. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get past this guy, to be honest with you. He's running a very defensive race. That guy in front of him seems to have picked up a little bit. Oh, might get him soon, but is he going to chop me? Yeah, unfortunately. Right, here we go. Let's do him. That's it. That's it. He got it wrong. That's what I wanted. Careful with him though, because he is going to chop me if I'm not careful. Did I get enough of a run out of it? Yes, I did. Right, so let's just hold this together. The smooth. No, that wasn't smooth at all. That was absolutely anything but smooth, but I am pulling away. Not going to get close to enough to this Sam Sally, unfortunately, unless he makes a mistake. Oh, I knew he was going to bloody do that. Oh, that was bang out of order, mate. Alright. Right, let's try not to hit him. But that's it. Little bit robust. Oh, dickhead. Little bit robust, but he is obviously overly aggressive. There, he's got a penalty for that. Look, absolute moron. Absolute moron. Oh, so that's it. Not a great one. I think we can call that quits for the night on here, because my mood is not exactly improved after that awful start. 4 places back. Anyway. I don't know if that's going to affect my driver rating. Let's have a look before we go. yeah, I've dropped down to B on the SR. Damn it. Oh well, okay. We soon get that back, that's not a problem. Alright, au revoir.